Welcome to Outside the Box. Are you anxious, depressed, and/or lonely? Would you like a much better world to live in? Do you want to prevent the AI uprising? If yes to any of that, then join our Spirit Wave movement to likely help remedy your discomfort. The greatest story barely told is the central theme of our Spirit Wave movement. In a nutshell, reality is whatever happens, so pure power itself. Pure power is pure stability, which is pure balance. The path to power is the path to powerlessness in a balanced reality. Due to the seamless nature of reality, you are that pure power. That story is an irrefutably demonstrable fact. So not just an opinion, philosophy, or religion. It unavoidably forces society to redefine dominance in a way that ends the absurdly competitive consolidation of individual power. So it basically ends greed, poverty, and war. It also demonstrates how powerful and universally connected you truly are, instead of always being trapped in the definitions of your mind. Help powerfully grow this movement now. Like, subscribe, respectfully comment, and overall share the Spirit Wave movement wherever you righteously can. In addition to turning up the social volume knob, we need to turn up the financial volume knob. Become a special tips subscriber for only $1 yearly, not monthly, yearly. Tip subbing is a simple PayPal subscription to automate a yearly tip. Easily select the longest and arguably ugliest link in the description to get started now. Only tip subbers are eligible to win contest prizes via drawings, and the sooner you tip sub, the better chance you have of winning, because the drawing is weighted by seniority. So act now to reserve your better spot. The more tip subbers, the better the prizes, if that fails to go without saying. $1 yearly will always be the price, because $1 represents the power of the individual. By itself, it does not buy much. But when enough of you tip sub, e.g. 100,000 of you, that is solid yearly purchasing power for our critical movement, while being financially easy for you. A rare relief of a price during these inflationary times. While you can cancel your tip sub at any time, the odds of you ever doing that are seriously low, given how likely busy you are in life, in conjunction with the wonderfully low nature of the tip sub price here. Which means our movement likely benefits from that yearly money basically forever. Win-win. Tip sub today. Tip subbing is why I'm not telling you about today's sponsor that you probably have already heard about. So again, tip sub today for our mutual benefit. Now to the main subject of this video, which is purely improvised, so it takes on a little bit of a different flow than what I just read for you, which is what I just wrote for myself to read for you. Social connectivity. It is the dominant theme of my mind at this point in my life. But it's not just about me. It's about us. Society. Socialness. It's about us. And so, where do I start? Where do I start? Well, I like to start with the focal point of the Spirit Wave movement, which is, in a word, balance. Next time you are in a social situation, okay, let's say you're hanging out with a friend, maybe a group of friends, maybe you're at a restaurant, maybe you're just in the waiting room for something. But when you're there, if you're noticing that nobody is forcing you to do anything you don't want to do, and you're not forcing anybody to do something they don't want to do, notice how that feels, right? That's called social balance. That's being in balance with somebody or a group of people. It's a kind of live and let live. Actually, it's not even kind of. It is live and let live. And why it's so powerful is because balance is inherent within stability. Stability is inherent within composure. And composure is inherent within competence. Balance is inherent within competence. We need to focus primarily upon balance. And we don't do that as a society. We focus on the permanent positive in a demonstrably balanced reality. And that's a mistake. Because how do you have a permanent positive result, a permanent benefit, a permanent victory in a permanently balanced reality? And the answer, of course, is you cannot. And yet our whole species, now throughout the entire duration of our whole species, is driven by the idea of a permanent positive. Heaven, nirvana, utopia. Everything is love. Winning is everything. Give it 110%, 110% of the time. Infinite growth of money/power. 2% inflation always. Pleasure, 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 pleasure. We're built on the idea of the permanent positive. And that's the mistake. We have it all wrong. We demonstrably have it all wrong. So all we need to do is make a little change. It's one tiny, tiny little change. From the permanent positive to the permanent balance. Because reality is whatever happens. Whatever happens is pure power. Pure power is pure stability. And stability and balance are basically the same thing. And if you want to feel reality's supremely dominant balance that is synonymous with actuality, then all you need to do is stop focusing on what's going on within reality. You see, when you're thinking about what's going on within reality, you're distracting yourself from what reality is doing as a totality. But just like you can put a car into gear to move it, that's like the thinking brain, the controlling brain. But you can put the car into park and then leave the engine running, which is called idling. You can do that with your brain too. You just rest the part of your brain that thinks, to grasp, to control, to whatever, manipulate, whatever words you want to use there. And instead, you just restfully experience the totality of reality itself as the supreme idling of self. Probably can do this really at any restful moment in your life. So do it. Why not? What do you got to lose? You think you're going to lose yourself? You think you're going to disappear? You won't disappear. You'll find yourself. You'll find your truest self. It's extremely powerful. It's called restful meditation. And the experience, the achievement is called enlightenment. It's worthwhile. Just give it a shot. What do you have to lose? In this crazy-ass world where everybody wants to escape the pain into the permanent positive. I get it. I sympathize. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I would love to have a permanent positive result. We all do. How could you be bored there? It's all permanent positive. If it's heaven, you can't be bored in heaven. So people go, I'd be bored there. No, you wouldn't. How could you be bored? It's heaven. You can't suffer at all. It's like mandatory. It's weird because it doesn't really make any sense. Look, if you want to keep believing in heaven and all that stuff, have at it. I'm not here to uproot anybody. I'm not here to make those kinds of changes. I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to talk down to anybody. This is all about the social balance, right? The two of us. Social balance. Live and let live. stability, composure, competence. All of that requires balance. If I'm not balanced, I can't function at all. I can't do this video. My brain has to be balanced. My body has to be balanced. I need balance. We need balance. Right? Social connectivity. That's what we need. The spirit wave movement needs to turn up that volume knob. Social connectivity. The algorithms are merciless. Right? The resistance that I face, no matter how hard I work, no matter what I put into all this, I run into a resistance that says, you gotta be somebody in order to be somebody. Right? There's a psychological dismissal that a lot of people prefer to express. I just look over because I gotta see the time. I want these videos need to be about 15 minutes. You can't go over that. You got a life. I want you to get back to that. We're outside the box. I don't know how much time we need to spend outside the box, but it seems to me that about 15 minutes. So I'm still trying to cultivate all of this because I'm getting tuned in more to what this experience is. I'm a musician. I'm an audio person. So I'm starting slowly to learn how to be a speaking person since I'm doing a lot of speaking. And so just bear with me. We'll tune it in. We'll get it dialed right in. Make everything nice and balanced. Spirit wave movement. All about balance. Act now. What else do we have here in this final moments of time? We're over 12 minutes in. How much time do I want to give before the remainder of this stuff? You know, if you actually engage socially at this channel, like, subscribe. I'm going to do live streaming here, so maybe engage in chat in a way that is respectfully constructive. I may use some of this empty space here to kind of give you a shout out, because why not? Social connectivity. That's what it's all about at the Spirit Wave Movement for the sake of balance. The supremacy of balance. The demonstrable supremacy of balance. Go ahead and challenge it. Reality is whatever happens. You want to challenge that? Do you really? We're not going to do that in this video, but we're going to go into in depth on that in a future version of Outside the Box. So I'm going to wrap it up. We got 2 minutes here, and well, we got the nearest tribute space mixes. What we had? We had Predation by Blind Procedure, and of course we have the classic Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix. I love both the songs. Predation is another area that reaches more into the social connectivity, which is, of course, what we're going to be on for a little bit, I think. But who knows? I like to follow the muse live. This is a live performance that's being recorded. That's what's happening here. So, so we'll talk more about Predation, since that's obviously kind of antagonizing against the social balance in some direct way. We need to work through that a little bit. It's like a massage for the mind. We need to just kind of let's work through these things a little bit to get right down to that base. Just like working out kind of a knot, like a muscle knot. You're just trying to get it right down in there for society and just get in there and loosen it all up so that we can all make better decisions in our lives. Because the world needs that right now, right? Regardless of what you believe is going on out there, because it seems like a lot of insanity is going on out there. So I don't know. It's all secondhand information, although I can kind of apply it to my own life. Inflation is off the charts because they printed way too much money. I don't really have much more to say about Purple Haze. It's a classic tune. I'm really happy with the result. I hope you're happy with the result. I know it's kind of like an audio graffiti thing, and maybe I'm just kind of stepping in the wrong place, and I just don't want to do that. It's all out of respect. It's a genuine tribute to music that I find amazing, and Jimi Hendrix, of course, is an amazing musician So that's pretty much it for me. I am looking to realize my dreams, to engage in a casual conversation with Duncan Trussell. So if you know him and you can access him, could you please let him know that I'm trying to reach out for him? I'd really appreciate it. And this video is over. If you have not already, tip subbing now is the only sensible option. Select the longest and arguably ugliest link in the description to start the one-time, brief and easy, empowering move for us all. Thank you. Whoa.